Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, today, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are in Australia or in the world. It's wonderful to see so many people on the call. For those of you who have yet to meet, my name is Pamela Ferry and I am your General Manager for Australia. And I am absolutely thrilled to be on the call tonight because we have a very special guest who is sharing with you. So I'm really excited to introduce this gentleman. I had the opportunity to see him present at our international convention and he blew it away. So tonight we have Brandon Cunningham. He's from the United States and he's what we call a Pro 10, which is one of our very, very top global leaders within the LifeVantage community. So to share a little bit about Brandon's background, Brandon was for many, many years in traditional business. He ran a car dealership for around 20 years and it was very successful. And then the global financial crisis hit and his business was challenged like many other businesses around the world. Brandon was introduced to the LifeVantage opportunity in around 2009 and he did a lot of research on the company, on the LifeVantage products, and he knew he'd found the right fit. So here we are in 2017 and Brandon and his wife Lynette have an incredible global LifeVantage business that spans across 10 countries, and he's fortunate to be earning a seven-figure income. That would be nice. And you know, he now has a life that is full of time freedom, wonderful, amazing, optimal health, and importantly, financial freedom, because when you have financial freedom, not only do you help yourself, but you can help so many others. So I'm going to hand over to him now. We're absolutely thrilled to have him on board tonight. Please welcome Brandon Cunningham.
Hi, Pamela. Can you hear me okay? Is everything okay on sound? Good? Very good. Well, I'm excited to be able to be on with you guys this morning over here on the East Coast of the United States. It's I guess about 7 a.m. out here, and I truly do love this company and the Australian distributors because I had a late night with some distributors last night. My eyes, pardon my eyes this morning, my voice a little bit. I had a late night meeting. I'm on the road. I'm from Florida. I live in Florida, so I'm up in the Northeast in Connecticut. Working with some teams, and so we did some trainings and we did the presentation, and then last night from that presentation I was asked to get on a conference call with another network marketer from another company, and that call went really good but really long. So I'm a little puffy-eyed this morning here, and but I'm glad to be on with you guys, and very excited about what we do as a company and what we do as leaders around the country, really around the globe with LifeVantage. I have come from a traditional background, as Pamela was saying, in business. I can tell you that I didn't like school as a youngster. I couldn't wait to get out of school. I have always been a terrible employee. I'm just was the worst employee ever. It's just not in my mold. I knew I was going to be doing something on my own, and never thought it would be network marketing. But you know, my journey through network marketing, I've talked to so many people about what they do and their life and their journey. And what I found is that it's not uncommon for people to be doing something today that they didn't go to school for, or that they have changed patterns or careers drastically over their life. And it seems like it's about every, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, somewhere in that range, where people either find their niche and they find happiness, or they become unhappy. And that was pretty much my course through life, traditional business, and from one business to the next. Got married very young, had kids a few years later. The typical adult cycle, I guess you could say, where you get married perhaps and then have kids and the jobs. And I found myself, as Pamela said, in 2009 in a situation where we had become unhappy again. The money wasn't the money that had stopped coming in. we were diversified. So we did get just pounded financially with the real estate turn down. And fortunately, that was the best thing that ever happened to me from a business standpoint, because it just woke me up. I tell people all the time, sometimes people, they have to have a heart attack before they'll listen to their doctor that's been telling them for years to change your diet. And so I was a little blinded by the economy of 2006 and 2007, how things were just going. And I was rattled in 2009 with the reality of how the world is connected. I thought I was diversified enough, and I was not. And I just became unhappy with the amount of time and work I was having to put in away from my family, which truly at some point in your life, you just want to be happy. Money's great, but once you have covering and food and can have some relative freeness, you just want to be happy. And I was very unhappy in traditional business. And I got a phone call from a relative of mine about LifeVantage. And I knew it was network marketing. I could smell that it was network marketing. And I had never done network marketing. So it's not like I had a bad experience. It just, I had not done it. I didn't see the value in building a network marketing company, because I just didn't know that it was as incredible as it actually is. And so there were a few things that led us to where we are today. I'm going to discuss that with you guys briefly this morning. The product, I had been pitched by a lot of companies previously to me getting involved with LifeVantage. And while I've always been health conscious, that kind of leads me to this story. My grandfather passed away in his 50s from cancer. And I watched how that changed my entire family. We were a small family. I'm an only child. My mother's an only child. And so I was, just heavily connected, no distractions really from the family. And I watched how that scenario changed everything for my grandmother and my family. And when I had heard about LifeVantage and our product, specifically Protandim, I was very interested in what I was hearing, because I had never been told by any physician or nutritionist about a supplement that could provide me the possibilities of better health on a whole nother level. We're not talking about just a little bit of health. We're talking about big time health improvements. And what I know today as a category creating product in Protandim. For those that are maybe joining us this morning that don't know about our flagship product, I can keep this pretty simple for you guys. We age because of something called oxidative stress. It's the abundance or the overproduction of free radicals. We do need some free radicals in the body. Without free radicals, our bodies would be in a mess. So we need some free radicals, but an abundance is not good. In fact, it leads to, as I said, what we know now is oxidative stress. And oxidative stress outside of the body from, rusting of metals, or fruits or vegetables that maybe you cut open and you don't consume, they turn brown. I was over in Australia. I don't know how many months, or it's many months, it's over 12 months. But I was right there on the beach. And so here's what oxidative stress is. Imagine someone puts a beach chair out on the beach and they don't pick it up and they just leave it there, and they leave it exposed to the air and the salt and the water, right? Eventually that chair starts to rust. It starts to deteriorate. And here comes this guy like me, and I see a chair, and I'm a little over 200 pounds a year later, and I just run and I jump in this chair that's been sitting on the beach for a year. That's extremely rusted at this point. What do you think is going to happen to the chair? Well, the stress of my weight, I'm a little over 200 pounds, and if I just jump on this thing, the stress of my weight is going to be too great for the chair that has been deteriorating from this rust. And the chair will collapse. And the same process happens inside of our body. Our body, after about the age of 20, loses its ability to produce some key enzymes that are there in the cell specifically to deal with free radical production. And so the aging process really gets kicked into effect. You don't feel it at 25. You may not feel it at 30, but by 35 or 40, I can promise you, you don't feel 20 anymore. And that's oxidative stress. And so what we have in Protandim is so profound, because from the moment you take the first tablet of Protandim, your cells start to do things they were not doing before. And we're able, because of all the scientific research and the peer-reviewed studies, to be able to tell the story around the globe now that when you take Protandim for 30 days, you lower your oxidative stress by 40% on average. And some people, it's much more than that. And so that fact is monumental. And I know you've had some webinars. I think Dr. Mark Gordon was on recently, and I'm sure they can articulate the science much better than I ever could imagine to articulate what this product is. But I can tell you this, that, you know, we use, like, I'm in a hotel right now and there's a little refrigerator over here. I tell people all the time that you take Protandim for the same reason you have a refrigerator, guys. If I have leftovers, I cook food, I put it in the refrigerator. If I have milk or eggs, I put it in the refrigerator, and that refrigerator doesn't make my food taste better. That refrigerator simply makes my food last longer. And so we need to get our minds wrapped around the fact that Protandim, while when some do have massive improvements in their health immediately, truly Protandim is a product that we take for health extension, just simply to extend our life, our healthy lifespan. And we can say that now because there's a study from the National Institute of Aging, a government-funded study. I think that's so important, because if you follow the money with many studies, or if you follow the money with many advertising pieces, you'll find out that many times they are twisting what studies say based on who paid for the studies. And so the National Institute of Aging did a study that was funded by the US government, and they found that Protandim extends life in a mammal. And that is such a monumental statement that it really just rattles people that truly believe that their health is important. You know, if I ask all of you now, how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your health, you no doubt would say a 10. And I am so grateful now that we have the power of something called nutrigenomics. That's really what Protandim is. It's the ability for nutrition and certain compounds, plant compounds, to affect the way our genes are expressed. My grandfather, when he died in his early 50s, he was unable to take advantage of the technology of nutrigenomics. And I'm sure you or someone in your family have experienced health issues that really bring to light how important our health is. And the great thing is today with Protandim, we have the technology and the ability to drastically affect our health through nutrigenomics, the power of using nutrition to change our gene expression. That's what we have. Guys, Google just started a company. I want to tell you how significant this product in this category is. Google just started a company with the sole purpose, Google, the tech company, right? The search engine, not the medical company, but they just launched a company with the sole purpose of life extension, finding ways to extend life. One of the platforms they are using is nutrigenomics. It's one of the platforms they're studying. And it's because they know if they can find solutions that people want to live longer. No one wants to die. No one wants to get sick. And that's why we're really excited about this product, because it's here, it's available now, it's not in the future. We have 23 university studies and hundreds of clinical studies about what this product is. So, and the greatest thing about it is it's so affordable. You know, I don't know exactly how it equates to the Australian dollar, but it's $40 US for a month's supply. And in today's world, that is a very affordable product for many people. If your health is a 10, you know, it's more. I tell people all the time, if the refrigerator cost $100 a month just for electricity to operate it, would you have a refrigerator? And the answer is yes, of course. But wait, if that refrigerator was $200 a month to operate just for the electricity, would you have the refrigerator? And the answer is yes, because of the convenience it gives you. Without that, it would be such a pain for you to keep your food fresh. And so Protandem is not $200 a month. It's not $100 a month. It's $40 a month. And so we're very excited about being able to have a product like this that can be available to everyone that truly values their health. And so I am obviously very passionate about our product. I have now been able through the years see thousands of people improve their health. I keep in touch with some of the people I went to school with years ago. And more and more and more, I am seeing what Protandem has done for me versus maybe some of my friends who are not willing to take Protandem yet. And so it's been an amazing product. The stories are just unbelievable. And it's backed by a company called LifeVantage, as many of you know. It's a US-based company that's publicly traded. And what you guys need to know about LifeVantage is really simple. At our core, we are about making people better, whether that's their health or the people that they surround themselves with or our business opportunity. You know, I've been a part of this since almost the very beginning. So I've seen how the company has progressed to where we are now. And I can tell you Australians that maybe you're seeing this for the first time, that the people that are involved with this company on the corporate level today are by far the best staff of people I have ever witnessed with this company. They are very progressive in their thinking, from Darren Jensen, our CEO, to Justin Rose, who is our Chief Sales Officer, bringing years and years of knowledge to our company to keep us at the forefront of our profession and global economics. When you look at what our marketing department is doing with Brian Goodwin, it's really exciting. And most exciting to me is their desire to work closely with the field and the field leaders to deliver to you or to me the best opportunity for us to be able to change our financial futures. This company, for many, is still a new name. I tell people all the time, if you have any entrepreneurial bone in your body, if you've ever wanted to open your own business or thought about or dreamed about having your own business, when you hear things you've never heard of before, I remember the first time I heard the word Google. I thought, what a crazy name. I was like, what? Turkeys, turkeys, Google. What is Google? Well, I wish someone would have sat me down, however long ago that was, 10, 15 years ago, whenever they were started, and said, Brandon, listen to me. This is what they are. This is what they're going to be. And do you want to join us? Because I promise you, as a serial entrepreneur, I would have listened. And so the exciting thing for me to be able to deliver with you guys is you've probably never heard of the word Protandem. You've probably never heard of oxidative stress. If you really want to get excited about this opportunity, go to your doctor or somebody in the medical field and say, hey, tell me what you know about oxidative stress. And many of them will get a blank look on their face. And if they do know about oxidative stress, won't you elevate it one step higher and say, well, great. So tell me what you know about NRF2 activation. And at this point, if it's a doctor, they're going to start scratching their head going, well, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know these things? And if you're an entrepreneur, if you've never heard of NRF2, oxidative stress, Protandem, and you've never heard of LifeVantage or nutrigenomics, those 4 or 5 terms, if you've not heard of that and you're an entrepreneur, you should be so excited right now, because those are all terms that are going to be household names in the future. They are going to be names just like Google, because when people start to find out what these things are and what they mean to them personally, they're going to seek them out. 10 years ago, I didn't have a phone that didn't have buttons. 10 years ago, we were using phones that had hundreds or dozens of buttons, Blackberries or still had the actual phone numbers on the phone. And now we're all using smartphones. There's a progression. And that's simply what this is, a progression of health and nutrigenomics. And so for me as an entrepreneur, and for you, and I know when I was in Australia, what I loved about being over there is the similarities in what we want. But honestly, I've traveled the globe with LifeVantage, and around the globe, people want the same thing. They want better health. But people are under a massive amount of stress today. It's a fact, at least in the United States, and it may be global. I should have done a little bit more homework. But in the United States, it's a fact that more heart attacks happen on Monday morning than any other day of the week. And I ask people all the time, do you think that's because people are making too much money? Is that because they love their job so much? No, that's because people are not making enough money. They're under massive amounts of stress. And that's what excites me about sharing this information, is it is a solution. It's maybe not a solution for everyone because not everyone's an entrepreneur. But from a product standpoint, it's a solution for everyone if you care about your health. And so for us as entrepreneurs, I couldn't be more excited about the elements because it's the perfect opportunity. You've got a product that no one knows about yet. So timing is on our side, and that is important. I mean, if we're talking about typewriters right now, that's not much of an opportunity. That has seen its day. So you need to have a product that's ahead of the trend, not behind the trend, right? One of my favorite authors says, if you're an entrepreneur and you find an opportunity, just know that the window is always closing on your opportunity. It's always closing. And it's your job to make sure you build your network before that window closes. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what many of you are doing by being on this webinar today, is starting to build your network. And so timing is so important. If you're going to have an opportunity, we have that on our side. We've already talked about the product and the significance of the product, the company. Let me tell you something, just a little, I don't want to get too far in the weeds and don't take too much time here, but one of the privileges I have in the position with LifeVantage, I get a lot of phone calls from other professional network marketers that are taking a look at LifeVantage. And I get to hear about many, many other companies and their products. And I can tell you guys this, just last night, I was on the phone with a guy, very nice guy, seemed to be very knowledgeable about the profession of network marketing. And we started talking about products. And I just simply, his product sounded very interesting. But when we went to the validation, there was none. The fact that we have the university studies that we have news agencies like ABC News that have produced investigative reports that we are able to use to share this information, puts us in such an incredible position of why LifeVantage is different than other companies. And so you can, as an entrepreneur, be sure that you are a part of something very unique. And so when you put those elements together, you come up with, I think, is the perfect opportunity for an entrepreneur in today's world. And I think the economy, the global economy, is finally catching up with the forward thinking of network marketing. You know, network marketing 20 or 30 years ago is not the network marketing today. 20 or 30 years ago, basic retail models were the way to build a business. But in today's economy, because of the way things are trending, and if you don't think things are changing, you really need to take a look at the way the world is changing and the way they get their products. Amazon has changed the face of the world. And I think Amazon is just finally caught up to network marketing, because network marketing for years has been a point A to point B transition, cutting out all the gross markup in the middle. So that's what we are. I tell people, they say, well, I don't understand how this works. And I'm like, it works just like Amazon works. If you find a product of value, you enter your name and your address and a credit card number, and a couple of days later, it shows up at your front door. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're sharing information, sharing the ability to get the product directly from a manufacturer, not from a brick and mortar, operation, and it gets delivered at a very affordable price to your door. Protandim, if it had to be in a retail setting, would be much more expensive than we're able to provide through our model. And so it is the model of the future. People are realizing that the old way of doing business is changing drastically. And if you are an entrepreneur, you need to realize that this is, I can promise you, you can go from one column to the next, from traditional business, because I did it all, to what we have in network marketing, and it cannot be compared. There's no scale in how many people you can reach. There is no scale or cap on the income potential. So what more could an entrepreneur look for? And so I'm excited for you guys. I did just a little bit of homework on Australia. I know the population of Australia is about 24 million at this point, somewhere in there. And I know that you are less than 1% of 1% of people that even know about LifeVantage in Australia yet. And that puts you in a very privileged position to be a part of this company. And I guess the last thing I would share with you about what makes this opportunity so amazing is how you will grow as a person with the people you get to meet and be a part of. You know, last night I closed the presentation by simply saying a couple things to think about. But the final thing I share with people is you should do this opportunity. You should become a LifeVantage distributor. Obviously because of the product, obviously because of the timing and the business opportunity. But aside from that, separate that completely. People should become a part of what we're doing just to meet and be a part of the people who are joining this company today. Because the leaders in Australia, the people that are joining this company today are visionaries. The pioneers of this company are very mentally strong people that can accomplish anything they want. And if you are going to better yourself, I told this to a group of people yesterday. If you repeat the last 5 years, if the next 5 years, if you repeat your activity from the last 5 years, if you do the same things you did 5 years ago with the same people, you are not going to like what your future looks like. And so for those of you that are watching this webinar, this is an opportunity for you to change what the next 5 years looks like for you. And that, if you make that decision, it will change the rest of your life. Because that's what my wife and I did. Never doing network marketing. We saw this opportunity. We are normal just like you. We have kids, we had jobs, our businesses, and we took this one step at a time. But more importantly, what we did is we surrounded ourselves with people who thought a little differently than the traditional way. And we surrounded ourselves with positive thinking people who can accomplish anything. And if you do that, your next 5 years will look different than the last 5 years. And so that's why you should do LifeVantage. Is in order for things to change, you have to change. And what better way to do it by improving your health and then putting yourself in a position where you can drastically change your finances because of the things we've already mentioned here. So Pamela, Charlotte, I know you're there somewhere. I'm extremely excited for all of us globally, but especially in the markets like Australia, where you have such dynamic people and such an early opportunity. By the way, the population of Florida, which we pioneered, is about the population of Australia. So I know what it's like to pioneer basically a country just like Australia. Because when we said yes, there was nothing going on in Florida, and we were able to build a massive global company. And so think locally, but we build globally. And that's truly come to life here, because I'm all the way on the other side of the world. And I can't wait to get back to Australia. We're going to bring my family the next time we come out there, because you guys are awesome, amazing people. And thank you for having me on here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. I didn't know I was off mute. Thank you so much, Brandon. That was amazing. I think from what everyone's saying in the chat room, we could all sit and listen to you talk for another couple of hours. Maybe next time we'll make it a longer call. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. My takeaway is just the line that you said, LifeVantage makes people better. I love that in all areas of life, in our health, in our wellness, in our financial freedom, in our time freedom. It's so amazing. And wow, Australia, we are riding a big wave right now. We have all this support from the global company, from all our top leaders across the world. If you're looking at this opportunity tonight, you are definitely in the right place. And please go back to the person that brought you on the call and have a chat and get hooked up with us, because you are going to have a blast, I promise you. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. Thank you to all the individuals that helped set up the call. Brandon, we want to see you down here real soon. Get your family and come on down. We'd so love to have you. And please join us again soon. Thank you, everybody, and good night. Good day.